Good afternoon. Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Josh.
And I'm Dr. Kristina.
And welcome to Crossroads Chiropractic Facebook Live, and we still have our social distancing here.
We're trying to keep space.
Keep the space, you stay over there.
Yes.
So what we're going to do today, basically, we are going to be sharing with you guys our favorite lower extremity exercises. We've had a lot of people ask about them. Mm-hmm. We both have specific ones that we really like. I have two that I always give to a lot of my patients, especially if you have lower back issues. They're great for your pelvic and all that kind of stuff. Actually, same as yours. Yours are great for the lower back and pelvis too as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think a combination of choosing either of these exercises that we're going to show you are going to help obviously alleviate some lower back tension, but they just make you feel really good.
Yeah, it's true.
Which is awesome. Want me to go first?
Love it. Yeah,
Want to go first?
Go first.
I'm going to show I'll do one, and then you do one, and then I do one, and then you do one.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
so first one I'm going to show you is probably my absolute favorite one. It's the hamstring stretch. Now most people don't know how to do a hamstring stretch properly because what they'll do is they'll sit on the ground, they'll bend over, and they'll try to touch their toes like this, and they think that they're stretching their hamstring. For the most part, it's a very general stretch. You're getting lower back, you're getting your hamstrings, you're getting a whole bunch of things. Yeah. How I teach it is this, and that's why I have the chair right here, is you want to put your foot up on a chair or on a step or something like that, and you're trying to isolate the hamstring, which is the muscle right behind your thigh right there. So what you're doing, you're going to stand up like that, and I'm going to go sideways so you can actually see my hip. And what you want to do is you want to bend as if there's like a pivot point right here and keep your back straight. And what you're going to do is you're going to feel that stretch in your hamstring, and you're also going to feel it in the gastroc too, which is in the lower leg as well. And if you do, that's okay. And you just want to push to the point you find your resistance. Hold it there, and then you just want to add more as it kind of alleviates.
Yeah, it'll start to relax, and then you'll be able to go a little further every time.
Absolutely. And so I always like telling people 30 seconds. Yeah. But honestly, 30 seconds is actually a really good stretch if you can do 30 seconds. I think that's fantastic. Yeah. If you can't get that far, that's okay too as well. But that's my number one first exercise I like to do because most people have really, really tight hamstrings, and they're not stretching those enough.
Pretty much everybody does because we sit so much.
And if you're
as a society in general.
Exactly. And if you're, I'm going to say lady, not even just ladies, but if you look at most shoes have a heel. So most people are walking, I wear natural flat shoes, but most people are walking on their toes, and that shortens up your gastroc, shortens up your hamstring, so that actually increases the pressure on the lower back of your thighs there. Yep. So that's fantastic. You do one side, do the other side. If your hamstrings are really tight and you can't get up on a chair, that's okay. You can do it right on the ground and bend forward on the ground. Yeah. It's easier to localize on a chair. Yes. So hamstring stretch, number one. It's my favorite. All right, Dr. Kristina, it's up to you.
All right. So the one I enjoy doing a lot of, and I do this one laying on the ground, but that's quite advanced, so maybe don't start there, would be for the quad, right, at the front here. So what I like to do is I like to bring my foot up behind and, grab my ankle. You can use a towel and slip a towel around your foot if you can't get it that far, but just pull it up until you feel the stretch. And you want to kind of tighten your abs, push your pelvis forward a little bit because you don't want to be doing this, right, because that's not going to get you anywhere. You want to isolate that muscle, the quad, right at the front. Okay, so grab that and then pull, do a pelvic tilt so that your butt is kind of tucking in and you get a really, really isolated stretch.
That's awesome.
In the quad, which is awesome.
Now notice how Dr. Kristina is holding onto the wall.
Yes,
Definitely hold on to something, right? Because most people, when they do this, it's the balance issue. If you have
chair. Right?
Most people don't have very good balance, especially if you've had a history of injury, a fall, anything like that. Be very, very, very careful.
Yeah, any ankle issues.
Awesome.
All right.
Fantastic. Okay. Now my turn.
Okay.
So here's my second favorite. So that's the one, the hamstring. I like that quad stretch. It's a nice quad stretch. I'm going to add to that a little bit, and it's not a quad stretch we're actually getting for. It's actually the hip flexor. It's a muscle, not tiny muscle. It's a giant muscle that's in the front of your hip, deep inside your pelvis, and it attaches up into your lumbar spine and on the front of your thigh, right? And so what you're going to do is you're going to do like a hurdler stretch. So you're going to take a step forward.
A lunge stretch.
Like a lunge stretch. That's a good way of putting it. Lunge stretch. You're going to lunge forward. I like to have both my feet on the ground, right? Because then you get a little bit of gastroc stretch too as well. You'll feel a stretch right in. So you can kind of see how now. that'll start getting you going, okay? You want to make sure, actually, you know what? Heels, keep your heel up because that feels better.
Your heel comes up.
Get your heel up. Sorry, I made a mistake. Keep your heel up so you'll get a little deeper stretch into your quad. Now, I'm going to turn my body so you can actually see my addition. Most people are okay with that. But what you want to do is once you get a good stretch where you're really feeling a little tightness in the front, take your hands and you want to go to the opposite side. So this left side is the one that needs flexed. The right one is the one that's back. And what you're doing is you're actually extending that stretch up into the lumbar spine so you get a little bit more deeper stretch. Yeah. If you're really flexible, I've had some yoga instructors, yoga teachers, who were crazy flexible. Yeah. And so what they had to do is they actually went on the ground where their knee was on the ground and they did it that way. And that was the only way that they could get that stretch. So if you're super flexible, that's okay. Otherwise, most people are good just standing.
With a lunge.
With a lunge.
Yeah.
Love it.
Awesome. That's great. We're playing jump rope with our wires. You do realize that. So the next one that I really enjoy, and it's more of maybe a low back stretch, but it kind of gets down the side of the leg too, is just standing normally and then cross, let's say your right leg first over your left leg, and then you're going to actually reach to the left side. And so you get a stretch all down your side, and you'll get a stretch a little bit in your side glute and down the side of your leg as well. So all the way over, which feels really nice. And that gets in the low back. And I find that kind of gets that one of those really tight muscles. We call it the QL. It's a quadratus lumborum, if you want to know the specific term. But that muscle can be really, really hypertonic because it's one of the primary stabilizers of the low back and postural stabilizer. So it can get really tight. So this really stretches it nicely, which I enjoy. And you can always go forward a little bit, but, play with it a little bit.
Yeah, awesome.
Sound good?
Yeah, it's good that way.
Oh.
As I boss you around. Go over there. Stay over there.
Stage direction.
I just didn't want to wrap the wires again. Because we have these, we don't have wireless microphones, we have wired mics. So we're like...
we're playing jump rope with our wires.
Anyway. So those are just basic, simple stretches. They work fantastic. Do both sides, right? Yeah. Obviously, you want to make sure both sides are done. Hold for 30 seconds. As you feel the stretch, hold it and even push into it a little bit. If you're feeling pain, stop. That's always a good sign not to. If it's hurting you, there's a difference between muscle stretching pain and pain, right? Yeah. So you want to make sure you get the stretch, but not the pain, right? Yeah. So if you're getting pain, stop. Obviously, if you have artificial hips, knees, these might not be for you, right? You need to talk to us about that.
Talk to us specifically about modifications.
We can give you some modifications on what to do. But really, really simple, right? Especially right now, we're all sitting around, not doing much, right?
While you're watching TV or whatever, you can do these stretches.
Actually, it's interestingly enough, research and if you look at the lifestyle of a lot of elite athletes, part of their training program is they have their intense workouts, but they'll have days and sections where they're just stretching, right? They just give a whole day of stretching, right? So obviously you can't get out to the gym, you can't get to your different classes. Yeah. This is a fantastic thing that you can start working on right now and start getting a little bit loose.
That's it. And one thing too, maybe that we should mention is that before you really do any intense stretching, I would warm up first.
Absolutely.
So go for a walk if you can outside, respecting proper distancing and everything, but warm your body up a little bit and then you'll get a more effective stretch and a bit of a deeper stretch, and you won't be working with cold muscles, so you won't hurt yourself. Yeah.
It's amazing because when we were kids, we were told stretch before you exercise. Now it's actually, you need to do it after warm up. Absolutely. Yeah. Which is pretty crazy. So
that's it.
Hope that was helpful. Yeah. Obviously, we could talk a lot about this.
We could talk a lot about
this. This is a huge part of what we do on a day-to-day basis, telling patients, what stretches to do, what stretches not to do. Yeah. Right? We should probably do a video on the things not to do. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Maybe we should do that, right? Because there's a lot of times people make mistakes and they can actually hurt yourself. So we don't want you to get hurt. We want you to do things properly so you can stay safe, get well. Exactly. And so that we can all get back to life soon, right? So you can be running when things open up. So awesome. If you like this video, please share it. Follow us on
Instagram, YouTube, Facebook.
And
visit our
website at
www.crosschiro.com. CA.
Nobody wants to say it.
We're working on our outro.
We're working on our outro. That's right. So www.crosschiro.ca. If you like this video, please share it with all your friends, your family members, the whole works. We're going to have another video next week. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. We'll love to talk about them. Be able to answer your questions too as well, and help you guys as much as we can. You know,
we're here for you.
We miss you.
Yeah.
We miss seeing everybody in the office. So this is the best we can do. So this is what we're going to do.
Exactly.
Awesome.
All
so,
right, guys.
anyways, I'm Dr. Josh.
And Dr. Kristina.
We'll see you later. Have a fantastic day.
Yeah.